Hey there, everybody, it's Krista. Hey, I know we're kind of all in this mode right now where we don't really know what to do. And we definitely don't know what to do because our whole routine has changed, just like everybody else. On Wednesday nights, we would typically be teaching church class to first graders and running around like chickens trying to get our dinner together before we have to go to church. But like many teachers out there, and I don't even know how heartbroken they are because we miss those little monkeys and can't believe that it's done for the semester. So I actually saw somebody posted a comment that they were going to make homemade pizza crust for the first time. And so it just got me thinking that maybe somebody else out there would like to know how to make homemade pizza crust. Because as you know, we cook a lot. Because when we don't know what else to do, we love to cook. But let's be honest, more than anything, we love to eat. So I want to show you how we make flatbread pizza crust because we do it in the cast iron skillet. Because if you have a cast iron skillet and are not using it, it is one of our favorite things to use. So what we're going to do first is we're going to preheat the oven to 425, 450 degrees, kind of your choice. We are going to take whole wheat white flour. I like the white whole wheat flour just because it's a little fluffier. Completely the same nutrition as regular whole wheat flour. They're just made from different berries. So they're both good for you. They're both whole grain. So you're going to get a plain empty bowl here, about medium size. We're going to do 3/4 a cup of flour. And so we're going to mix this up just kind of like you would pancake batter. And then we're going to take a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add a cup of water, just room temperature water. And so pour all this in your bowl, and then you're going to whisk it up. Now, so while your oven is preheating, which should take about, 10 minutes or so, depending on your oven, go ahead and mix this up and just let it sit at room temperature while your oven is preheating, because you're actually going to do another step before we get it in the oven. So once you get it to this point, we are actually going to kind of put a towel over it, set it aside, and keep it warm. Now, so what we're going to do in the cast iron skillet first, before we get it in the oven, we're actually going to add 3 tablespoons of oil, and we're going to add some seasonings. And so this is for a 12-inch skillet. If you have a little bit smaller skillet, bring your oil down to about 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to add I've got granulated garlic, granulated onion, and some rosemary. So 1/2 teaspoon of each of these. And toss these all together. What we're going to do is we're actually going to put this in the skillet and get the skillet hot before we add the batter. Because then it's going to make it, season it, it's just going to taste awesome. So we're going to stir this together. And then we're going to pour it in the skillet. The skillet is not hot yet, obviously. And then once you get it in there, just kind of move it around until it gets all well coated. Let it kind of run to all the edges. And it'll spread out even more when you get it in the oven. So once you have this, you're going to stick it in your oven. The oven is at 425. And you're just going to let that get in there for a couple of minutes till everything gets really hot. And so the possibilities here for pizza are endless. I mean, tonight, what we're doing is I've got some caramelized onion. These are actually shallots. This is about 4 medium-sized shallots that I just stuck in this pan with a tiny bit of oil over kind of medium-low heat, and we're just letting them brown and soften. So we're going to do a caramelized onion, shaved asparagus, and we're throwing a couple pieces of bacon on there for fun. And so with the asparagus, what we'll do is we'll actually shave it like this and top it. Now, another tip that if you have never put bacon in the oven, I promise you this tip changed my life. So we put a package of bacon on foil on a baking sheet and roasted it in the oven for 10 minutes. Then I would check it. So at 400 degrees, check it about 10 minutes. And then do like another 2 minutes until it's brown. You do not have to flip it. It does not make a huge mess. And then as soon as it comes out of the oven, transfer it to a paper towel lined plate and it will absorb the grease and it'll start to crisp up. I promise you that tip will change your life. Okay, so now that our pizza pan cast iron skillet is ready, so it's nice and hot, the oil is hot, we are going to take our batter, and we're gonna just pour it on there. Now the oil is actually gonna pool around the edges, which is a good thing because that's gonna actually help you create a crispy crust. And so we really need a spatula. So just make sure you get all the batter out, and then take your spatula and kind of just smooth it around. But like I said, this is gonna be a nice thin crust, flatbread pizza crust. So this is gonna bake for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven. So we're gonna pop it back in there and let it bake and let all of our toppings get ready, and then we'll assemble it and we'll have flatbread pizza. All right, the pizza's ready. Pizza crust is ready. So we're going to pull it out. And so now we have a flatbread pizza. The edges are nice and crispy because that's kind of where the oil pooled around the edges. And so now keep your oven on, top it with your favorite toppings. You could put a little pizza sauce. You could also use hummus as your pizza sauce. You could even just brush a little bit of olive oil, and then the possibilities are endless on all the toppings that you can do for whatever kind of pizza you like. And the recipe for this flatbread pizza is on the free recipe section of eatrailamerica.com, and I hope you enjoy. I would love to hear what you think. Thanks.